Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Men's and Women's eCrit North America East, presented by Cyclops. We are about to get going with the race today. I want to welcome to the broadcast Mr. Quentin Lefebvre coming at us out of France. I think a super late night over in France as he jumps into the racing action with us. How you doing, Quentin? Good to have you here. About to get going for some fast racing on the volcano again, but see what North America's got.
Yeah, well, it's more early than it is late. I mean, it's 2 a.m., so definitely earlier than later. But yeah, definitely some great racing that we've had for the first 2 weeks, and that we are going to have today as well. When we see the guys, getting the pen full, and I think we have almost 150 racers today, so gonna be exciting to see.
Yeah, 66 in the pens right now, but there are, I think, 150 or so according to the Zwift mobile link at this point. So good to see all of the competitors lining up. Also in the women's pens, we do have 26 currently hanging out, waiting to get going. But I do believe we got over 50 or so, I think, jumping into the race today. Now, real quick, what's going on with this event? For those of you who might be unfamiliar with it, we do have a link in the Facebook feed. Actually, for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome over at Facebook as well. This is round 3 of the North American East Kiss Crit series presented by Cyclops. We are into our third race of the restart of the series. You can find information over at community.zwift.com. There's a little news article over there about it as well. Just going to go ahead and read through a little bit of the top line things. The series is a series of 10 races. Your best 7 count toward the finish, and the 40 finalists will win an all expenses paid trip to their live racing final events in March. Actually, locations are to be determined. Actually, so top 3 live finalists in each gender winning a tax trainer for the Europeans, a Cyclops trainer for the North Americans. The crowned European and North American champs will win Zwift for life. Weekly Zwift swag bag prize drawings will also be held for all the participants, actually. So just jumping in the races gives you a chance to win some new stuff as well. So looking through here, we do have our Twitch feed open as well as our Facebook feed open. I do have the social media integration going on as well for those of you who might want to interact with us over on Facebook. We can bring that right on in. Questions, comments, or who your favorite race is, who you think is going to win, can also be brought in the broadcast. So what's happened so far, Quentin? Where are things at in these in the race series right now?
Well, it's been quite an interesting series that the North American has been. We have in the East, for now it's Casey Shum who's leading the series. But the interesting thing is that whether it's in the first batch of races that happened all during the fall, or during the first 2 races that were in December, we didn't have twice the same winner, and that's something that shows that on a crit race, pretty much anything can happen. And for the rankings, we said that the best 7 results counted, and that includes 2 of the past races of the first batch, if the races did. And as of right now, the East is led so by Casey Shum, uh, tightly followed by Justin Purificati, the winner of the CVR World Cup in Vegas, and Big E follows at third place, and fourth is Adam Zimmerman, who won the race number 2 of the series as well. And winner of the race number 1 was Anthony Ciano, but as he is from Australia, he can't participate in the live events, as it is reserved for North American people. And in the women's race, well, it's actually close as well because we have Katrina Weiss leading the rankings for now. And but Laura Fido won last week before I think it was Caitlin Patterson who came in second last week, and she won the
That
first
was a
week.
battle. It was a battle.
That
There
was a
yeah.
close one. Yeah, yeah, definitely a close sprint on the roads of London. Definitely a tight battle over there, and it's been a long time since we've had this crits battle, so I guess everyone's pretty excited to get that one going again.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting to see with both of the series how things are lining up right now. You know, within the European series right now, we've got a couple of big hitters that seem to be showing that they've got it locked down. But today in the men's race, things changed up a little bit with Kim Little and Tim Cartwright taking top 10 or just outside the top 10. But in the women's category, Rachel Elliott just walking away with things. It looks like we might have, you know, even amongst Europeans, though, we have kind of like this top five-ish showing themselves. But right now, there's going to be a lot of shuffling, I think, even within the top 10 to 15 amongst the men and the women's for the North American East. There's a lot of heavy hitters showing up. 185 currently within the pens with 47-second start. We've got 50 women jumping into the pens right now, almost 48, excuse me, but almost 50 women right now in the pens over for the women's race that's about to get going as well. So Caitlin Patterson, Anna Rogers, Carissa Min, see Melissa Hunter, Amy Levang, Janine Thompson, Laura Fideo, Katrina Weiss, all in that top 10 section. But can we spot Katrina? That's a question. I would be really surprised if she was not showing up. See if we can find now. Is that a bunch of fearless kids?
The CIS riders. Oh, she might be in the yellow jersey.
Yeah, she's in the yellow jersey right there, actually. There's Katrina Weiss donning the leader's jersey. So awesome to see that. But now with 2 minutes to go, we've got the men, though, taking off from the start finish line. So here we go. The racing is on the way. And the men's race is starting off fast and furious as usual. 181 beats per minute. 182. Newman is already at max heart rate. Absolutely demolishing these pedals right off the bat, boys and girls. And as well as his heart rate, we'll see if he can hold on to this kind of a pace.
Yeah, maybe
from
it's
the
just
get-go.
another Johnny. Maybe he's like Johnny and he beats at 215 at max, and 180 is just a very low heart rate for him.
Yeah, I would be surprised, Quentin. I mean, that was the nerves must be high at this point for Callisto here out of Canada.
Yeah, definitely. And well, I mean, the start of the races are very important because you have to get with the front pack, and you have to make sure you're not dropped right from the gun, because once you're dropped. Well, not forever, but for the remainder of the race. And yeah, you have to follow with everything you got. And we see all the power-ups already flying, and they won't have many power-ups today. We don't have many occasions. Just every time they come through the arch, actually. And well, it's going to be interesting to see how they use them as well.
It will be super interesting because we saw in the final for the men's final lap in the European race about 10 aero power-ups, I think. And it was actually aero power-ups that gave the ability for those 4 or 5 riders that were able to get back to Tim Cartwright. Actually, without those power-ups, I think it might have been Tim's to win, actually, although he did use one to get away, so it wasn't like an unfair situation or anything, where he did have an aero power-up that he had saved up for that attack. But with that early attack, you know, he did get a solid gap, but it definitely will be interesting to see who holds on to them or who uses them, rolls the dice, because that's really what it's all about in these races a lot of times. If they roll the dice and whether or not they will be able to get them back after they do use those power-ups. Now, the women are out on the course now, and they are just getting going, it looks like here. We are going to be able to grab the front end of the race here And we are getting a little bit of a conversation about go over at Facebook, it looks like, with some Go Team Fearless. So a lot of Team Fearless teammates, it looks like, or fans out there cheering them on. We do see Beth Lar York out here riding for Vixen, which is also a new women's team out on Zwift at this moment. And I do believe they're using this new Elite kit that's in the game. So cool to see her. I do think she is actually streaming over at ZwiftWatch.tv. So definitely check that out as well. So good to see her getting the point of view going on there from inside the race as well from Beth. So it looks like Weiss though up toward the front, representing for a moment there in the yellow kit. McCracken is here as well. We do have Tarquino, it looks like, as well as C. May of the US of A. Webster there, looks like, as well. Coming from Team ODZ. McCracken now making her way to the front though. 3.4 watts per kilogram. Beth Lar York there also at 4.3 or so, closing out quickly. Now it's going to be all about whether or not you can hang on at the beginning here, as a lot of times I've noticed very similar between both the men's and the women's races, that there's that initial kick and whether or not you make this lead group, because eventually they will slow down. Eventually it's going to come back on the pace a little bit, just enough to where somebody might be able to hang on, but it's all about whether or not you can hang on to that point. I mean, it's usually about a minute, maybe 2-3 minutes or so. We're right around that 3-minute mark or so before they actually back off a little bit and you start getting maybe some counterattacks. But usually there's a little reprieve, Quentin, from that initial attack.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's interesting right now is, well, apart from Mason's U-turns, is that the pack is already in two parts. We have two almost equal parts of the pack, and well, these two groups are going almost at the same speed. But we see right here Dixie Newsom, who was in the last CVR World Cup in Paris, and she might have been a little bit trapped because she's a very fast rider as well, and it's going to be interesting to see how she makes. Caitlin Patterson is in right at the back of the.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
Caitlin not make the front group because she's definitely a heavy hitter.
She
so
didn't make the cut, but well, it's definitely a big group, and we have, well, unlike the European race, we have no like superpower to crush the race and to make the groups explode in several group of 3 or 4 riders, and then we have to deal with the pack dynamics, and yeah, it's gonna be quite difficult for them to avoid a sprint today, but we'll see lap after lap if they can wiggle things down.
Yeah, it does look like Newsom was very motivated for a moment there to try and bring that back, but maybe caught out at this point. Now, this is going to be back all the way to 29th place, actually. So, caught out at this point is outside of the points. She has to go full on, get somebody to work with her in order to bring that back. Where is Newsom in the overall at this point? Is this point of that really matters for the standings? I'm going to look through here and see if she's got any. It doesn't look like I'm seeing any points,
she doesn't
actually.
have points just yet. But, well, the good thing about the fact that the best the best 7 of your races count is that there are still 7 left. So if Dixie doesn't make it today, she still has 7 occasions, and she will have as many chances as all the other girls out there. And well, it might be just a good lesson for her that she has to be at the very front of the group if she wants to make the cut at the first turn.
Now, are you noticing something here about the Vixen team? Now, what I think is pretty cool here is it looks like they all have mohawks. Like Beth has that same mohawk look with the glasses,
yeah,
and it looked like Newsom
had
Dixie the mohawk look as well.
Had it as well.
That's a pretty. I like that.
I mean, some teams have kits, some have hairstyles. I mean, you can't run of imagination to find a way to differentiate your team from the other ones. I mean, and that kind of haircut on a woman look good. I mean, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good, they're very cool. I like the uniqueness for sure around the, and then I'm wondering though if they all have that same haircut and look, like if like it's almost like this I don't know, for some reason I have like the cool shades and all that, like this Blues Brothers look, but then like it's the Blues women, Blues sisters. I don't know if but they're vixens, so they're not the Blues sisters. But anyways, going off topic at this point, definitely looking good. And I like how they have uniformed that a little bit beyond just the kit. As any, and that's the other thing, is anybody can use the elite kit, I think. So there's also maybe that in there as well, that you could add a little bit more differentiation rather than having everybody you just being able to look like it. So we do have social media integration coming through here. I do see your comments. Johnson Brown saying, hello, Nathan and Quentin, and everyone else. Good to have you here. Johnson Brown CH. Thanks a lot. There's going to be a fast race yesterday, Dwayne Bell. Well, good to have you here. It's all about Shum. Jeffrey Edwards is calling it out that it's all about Shum. We're going to have to see if he can pull it off today. He's hanging out in that yellow jersey, but has he won a race in the series yet, though, Quentin?
Well, I was told that he hasn't won just yet. I mean, he won, if I recall right, he won one in the first batch of races. I think it was in London. If I recall right, he won a sprint in London. But I'm pretty sure he didn't win one of the first two, because Anthony Sciano won the race number 1, and Adam Zimmerman won race number 2, and Casey was second in both those races. So he still has to win a race.
Consistency, though.
Consistency over the win, of course. He's a very experienced rider, and he knows where to be and when to be. And definitely experience over the youngsters.
Yeah, he's got shots fired, Casey. He's listening to the broadcast. Shots fired. So Dwayne Ball said, smoke on those wheels. Lynn Bumau coming through saying, go Team Fearless. We also say, Nathan and Quentin, Johnson Brown is asking, will you race in the next series? I'm good, man. I'm going to go training. I'll do a bunch. I'm going to be here commentating. I won't be racing in the West at all tonight. But I like to focus in on the KISS 100s and some of the longer races, and also Zwift Quest. I'll be doing some Zwift Quests and having fun with that as well. But I'm going to leave this up to those who are shooting for those in real life events. I don't want to take any points. I got to leave some points for somebody. Right? No, just
sure. I mean,
yeah. Sure, Nathan.
First, you need to take some points in Zwift Quest and try to run the routes of Watopia, and then you can race with the big boys.
Yeah. Know which direction to go. Make sure you know which direction you're going. If you go out and do the Zwift Quest, everybody, new feature that's been launched in association with Zwift Community Live. Jonathan Noblet, myself, been working on it a little bit, as well as the Zwift Quest wizard, unnamed individual. But the Zwift Quest, make sure to check it out. You can go do it. It's open through, I believe, this Sunday, the first one of 2018. Pretty awesome. It was pretty cool trying to figure out which way was the shortest and fastest. What's that, Quinn?
The one we did is already open, and I saw today that several riders already completed it. So I think it's open until the end of the week, and the aim is to make your own route. So don't go looking at other people Strava routes before doing it. But there's definitely some interesting distances in there, and it's always pretty fun to do. And the advice is make sure you do it at the same time as someone else to make it even more fun, and try to mix out the routes a little bit.
For sure. Definitely a lot more fun. We got others to compete with on it. Using the Zwift GPS was pretty cool as well. At the same time, being able to see what others were doing out on the course while you were away from them, that was kind of cool. to watch as well. So looking through here, a couple more comments coming. What can Zwift do to make us more realistic chase groups and prevent inevitable lead breakaways being irretrievable? It's a good question, Jeffrey Edwards. We had a great Zwift community chat last Friday that I suggest you should check out. Me and Greg Leo, who is a professor of economics but also game theory, actually, we had a nice chat. Every Friday we have a show on Zwift Community Live called Zwift Community Live Chat, and we bring in a community member or two to have a discussion about all things Zwift. And so events that are going on in real life, people, accomplishments, anything that teams are doing, anything that are topics that are hot at this moment within the world and community of Zwift, we bring up. So I suggest checking out the replay from that. We had a little discussion around game theory and roles that could be added to the avatars when you log in. So you play a character role that could perhaps have different abilities that you could do things in order to support other individuals within the race or yourself, or anyway, all kinds of cool ideas there. Definitely go check that out, though. Not going to go deeply into that during the race here, though. But it's a great question, Jeff Edwards, and I think Zwift is definitely paying attention to ideas like that. How long in time-wise is this race? It's going to be around 1 hour or so, maybe a little less. Go Canada. There seems to be a few Canadians, that's for sure. Alan Davidson, definitely. All about wars, Nathan. Stephen, we'll see how that goes. But we'll see. We'll see how much it's all about this year. But I appreciate the comment there, Stephen. Go Vision, Claudia, and Ellen coming from Jonas. Thanks a lot for all your comments over at Facebook. If you haven't done so already, make sure to head on over to the Twitch channel as well and hit that follow button over. That's the best place to get direct push notifications for any time that we do go live. Looking over at the Twitch channel, and it looks like Ian is telling me I got a humble brag going on here. And Chris is talking about gamification. Good to have Chris over there. Admin. Nice to have you over there, Min. And sorry to see that you're not racing right now. Hope to see you out there next week, it sounds like. Good morning, Pete Donahue as well. So, lead group, things have calmed down quite a bit. You know, I'm not sure this is going to be quite as animated, Quentin, this time around. I mean, yeah, it's pretty calm.
Well, it's pretty calm, and the main reason might be that there is not as many ODZ riders as there were in the past few weeks, because every week they were the one animating the race and throwing attacks with Matt Johnson and Chris Beck, just to quote some of them. And well, this week I think Justin is alone. I might say something totally stupid right now, but no. Looking at Zwift Power, he's the only team ODZ in the front group, so he might save his chips. And now we see Potoline going for an attack way too far from the line. But the thing is, Potoline is now a team experimental rider. And my little finger told me that he was recruited by the yellow jersey right here, right now. And that might be something to look after, because either Potoline can take some points. He's working for Casey, and in both ways, Team Experimental is winning something.
Yeah, you are seeing him off the front here, maybe trying to loosen the legs up a little bit of some of the other riders so that he can set up Casey for a solid result there. Podzaline, where is he standing currently with the men's overall? Looking through here, he's currently in 6th place, tied with Jim McQuaid, as well as Chris Beck is actually in 8th place, right ahead of Bruce Bird. I'm not seeing the big Bird out there today. Have you seen Bird?
I think I saw him in the. I think I saw him in the pack. Let me. I think I'll check, but no. That was Big E. I'm not sure Big Bird was there.
Bruce Bird. I call him the Big Bird.
Yeah.
But Big E definitely showed up today.
I don't see Bird in the list actually. So yeah, there might be some points up for grabs and some spots in the rankings. I mean, there's still a lot of races to go, but just the fact of being in that top 10, that provisional top 10, is well, it's a very good motivation for the riders to keep their spot. And if they can go up some places, they won't they will do it, and they won't hesitate to do it as soon as they can, because it's good motivation to be in that top 10 and as high as you can.
Now we are seeing the women's race really break up at this point. Okay, with the men's race right now, pretty calm at this point. Podsline's been caught. There are a lot within this group that are all fighting within that top 10 to 20. Pierre Ficati, the name one. Big E's in there as well. Of course, we got Casey Shum. A lot of the heavy hitters looking for some of these points. Again, it is your best 7 out of the 10. We've got this race plus 7 more, so you can still get involved if you're looking to race amongst these guys and gals out here. But in the women's race, though, it looks like we have had a solid attack take place, actually, and things have gotten broken up a little bit here. Looking through, I do see Newsome from Vixen is just gone, like full on gone.
No, she's 2 kilometers behind.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like behind, like off the back. Yeah. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
usually
well,
say gone, like she's gotten away, so she's falling off the
Oh, yeah,
back
she's
now.
gone the other
Bang
way.
as well.
Right.
Okay, back
Yeah,
here
it's,
now, falling off the pace. We also seeing, it looks like CS Cycling there as well. Russell, 4th tier. And then it looks like Park here as well. Pearson. A lot of riders have faded from that main group, it looks like, or at least from the chase group, the main chase group. Now, here's the main group, though, that originally formed, and it's been pretty calm with them as well. It looks like amongst them, there's not too many attacks taking place. Now, Fideo, though, here, she has been showing up and throwing down recently, and it looks like Fidel currently 2nd place overall behind Katrina Weiss, and she is going to be the one that Katrina's going to be marking, I think, throughout the night tonight.
Yeah, well, the thing with this race is that they have a lot of riders to look after. I mean, you got Beth, you got Ellen Tarquino, you got Claudia, who was 5th in the first race. You got well, Katrina, of course, who's got the yellow jersey. But you can't forget as well, like you say, yeah, Laura Fidao and Anna Rogers were 3rd in the rankings. But I mean, Caitlin Patterson as well is very strong, and she's showed it a couple of times. And Marie-Hélène Gonth is as well someone to look after. So just you can throw names, and you always find them at the top of the rankings every race, whatever race they do. And it seems that today most of the riders showed up, and we might have a very tight race, because every week you got some missing riders, and we don't have that too much this week.
Yeah, it's definitely everybody showing up in force here within the women's race here today. Like you were saying, Tarquino is out here. Ellen is out here. Beth is here. We're seeing Webster as well. Of course, series leader Katrina Weiss out here defending her jersey right now. Definitely going to be the one that's going to be marked at this point. But I have a feeling that there's a few riders out there that she is marking today to make sure that they do not get away and gain too many points over the top of her. If they were able to, that would be, you know, just not letting any of those wheels go at this point has been a very good tactic. Now, with such a large group, though, that's out here, it's going to be much more difficult to get away. Usually, there's a little more wiggle room within the women's race to make a solid attack and cause that break. But this week, it's going to be much more difficult, Quentin.
It's going to be very difficult. And, well, like you said, there's a lot more racers today showing up. But one thing they have to keep in mind is those new riders coming in, and they can be big surprises, and they are new every week. And one easy way to spot them actually in the peloton is that they have this string of four numbers at the end of their names, and that the race they do for verification with power. How it works is that when you check your account on Swift Power, they ask you to put these four numbers, like you see on Borbo right now, 9470, and yeah, or 6267. That means it's one of our first races on Swift, and that's one way to
Oh,
spot a new rider. That's
interesting.
the process of
Okay.
verification. And after a while, it will be well. She will remove it after the race, but that's because that's the first race after being registered on Zwift Power, and that's well, that's one way to spot the newbies and to see how the yeah, I mean they're newbies. There's nothing like there's no shots fired now. I mean, I do fire shots, but not right now. But yeah, I mean that's one way to spot them and to not evaluate, but to see how they do and how they play the game, and to see how you as a veteran can play around that.
Yeah, so the it's good to that's good information to have actually about the newer riders. I didn't know that about. Is that a new feature then
Yeah,
with
that's a new
SwiftPower.com?
feature for verification on Swift Power. When you link your Swift account to your Swift Power account, there's a lot more verification going on for the linking, and
Okay.
they actually change they check the changes in your string name. So they ask you to add a certain couple of numbers to check and to verify that it's indeed you, and then you can change back.
Gotcha. So it looks like Lucy Boo. How did you say it? Say it one
Borbo,
more time. Barbu. Okay, thank you.
Borbo, yeah,
Barbu. Okay, got it, got it. And so it
with
looks
an
like
O at the
she
end.
has raced. Looks like the Kiss Women's Crit North America actually back on the 7th and took 8th place actually, the 7th of December. Took 8th place in that
Yeah.
actually. Newer racer though, for sure, out on Zwift. Pulled a solid 3.7 watts per kilogram out of Canada here. So good to see her showing up for the races here. And looking through the current standings for the women, I'm going to see if I can get these going on here. And I'm not seeing her in the current standings at the
No,
moment though.
she's not
So
in the standings right now.
she will end up in them though. I think there's just some verification maybe going on in
Yeah,
the
well,
back end.
that's why they have to link the Swift account to the Swift Power account, and then they go all through all the checkings, and then you're pretty much set afterwards. It's longer than the process we as older users have had to go through, but well, it's always interesting to see how it evolves. And now it seems that Tarquinio is pushing on a little bit to break things apart.
Yeah, she's definitely put on the attack here, as you can see here, 4.9 watts per kilogram. And it looks like Lucy is catching that, though, out pretty quickly here. Katrina, series leader, not letting that go anywhere just of yet. Halfway down, 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go. It is about a 20-mile race or so. We do have some questions coming through here over at social media, and it looks like Johnson Brown saying, do you have to do an FTP test for this race? If so, do you think the FTP test for this race is the reason why the race is calm? I think the race is calm because it's a crit race and it is a course that doesn't have a ton of climbing or opportunities for attacking continually. Crit races on this course, unless there's people who are extremely aggressive riders, are not going to be quite as animated. The other thing about that is that's another game theory thing too as well. How can we make the races more interesting and more animated? But there's definitely on this course, things will be a little bit calmer. Now this course does come at you a lot though, so there are opportunities. It just happens to be that these riders are deciding to use the draft a lot more. If you watch racing though, in real life, it's very similar to this. I've been in road races. Most road races are a lot of sitting in and then find the opportune time and go. Sitting in, find the opportune time and go. Some crit racing, a little bit more active, but the FTP test, no, you do not have to do an FTP test to be in these races. Actually, a lot of the numbers that are your best 20 minutes are just pulled right from the races, so you don't have to submit an FTP test to do these races. Now, if you do need Zada approval, then you do submit some files for that. So thanks a lot for the question there, Johnson. I always appreciate those. We got a couple more here coming through. Will there be any wrecks? Doug Rader, not till version who knows what. Hopefully someday, but there will not be any wrecks unless it's in someone's living room. And then we'll call it technical difficulty on their end. Which rides are sent live? John is saying, John, if you want to know whenever Zwift Community Live goes live, head on over to our twitch.tv/Zwift Community Live channel. Hit the follow button. You will get a push notification to your email or to your Twitch app or your Twitch desktop app anytime that we do go live. You can also catch all of our VODs videos on demand over at our YouTube channel. The current schedule, though, for sure, is CVR World Cup Zone E and the Crit Series for East and the European. So you can catch those for sure. We also have Workout Wednesdays every Wednesday as well. European 2 p.m. North American 6 p.m. And then on Fridays we have Zwift Community Chat live on at 2 p.m. as well, with an ever broadening broadcast schedule as we bring in more and more talent to the community. So thanks a lot. I appreciate all the questions, you guys, over at Facebook. No HR means a DQ. That's right, Victor Williams. Great comment there as well. So things are starting to heat up a little bit. Go in the second half of the race here in the men's race, Quentin. It looks like a couple attacks are taking place here now. Things are no longer quite as calm. It looks like JP Sushi Salmon is about to be caught by the lead group here. We'll give him a ride on, as I do believe he is out streaming over on Twitch right now, actually. Usually does stream his races. But Evil, Real Deal Racing, now he races in real life for sure, out of Canada. Pretty fast dude, from what I hear. And looks to be taking a little attack off the front. 183 beats per minute, though. I think it's going to be brought right back in, though.
Yeah, Ed is he's a very strong rider from Canada. I had the opportunity to talk to him a couple of times, and he has a very interesting approach to the racing. And this kind of attack is what you can expect as anytime you race, you want to have some fun, and definitely attacking and is part of that. And yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about that last time, and I'm glad to see him still at the front right now and pushing it. But it seems that there's a lot more Canadian riders than we used to see on this time zone. I mean, back a few months ago, we only had a couple of big names, but not that many in numbers, and it seems to have grown, and that's really good to see as well.
Yeah, it definitely seems to have grown, and the numbers have definitely gone up. 150 plus riders in this race here from all over North America here. It looks like 31 minutes in now. They're going to have 2 laps to go here in just a moment. So this is going to be the 2 lap to go marker. And we are starting to see some attacks here into the volcano start to take place now. We are seeing Zimmerman from Draft right now with about 8 watts per kilogram making his way to the front. Now, this may be a moment where they're just trying to find the way to the front, make sure that they do not get dropped, and then do that fade type climbing a lot of times you're seeing. But it looks like perhaps there might be a couple of actual attacks going here with Skinner, it looks like, as well as the Cannondale rider here. Eric, go ahead, help me out here, Quentin. Last name?
Eric, yeah, Loisel.
Loisel.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
We had a
Appreciate
couple
that.
of comments coming from his team Cannondale 4i, I think. They are starting to be pretty active in the Zwift community as well, and it's good to see road teams taking their part as well in the virtual world.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Love to see the in real life teams jumping in, getting active into the racing. And Eric here, we watch out for him for the sprint. We've seen him with some solid results, and I've had a couple of predictions around Eric actually that weren't too bad. So maybe we'll have to throw down the chips on the table for Eric again here. He's got 2 laps to go, 2 laps to go to make something happen. Still fairly calm here. It was just a little bit of fade sprinting or fade climbing from the pack as they made their way up into the volcano here. A little bit calmer now at this point. Nobody really going anywhere. So everybody has the poker face on. Who's going to go first is the question as they start to move their way backwards here, looking to reserve a little bit of heart rate as well as power and keep those matches as best as they can. Now for the women, now they're about to start their go into their 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go in just a moment here. And so it looks like Katrina still hanging on tough to the front end of this group right now. Nobody's been able to drop off the series leader. And they've given a couple of digs, though. It looks like Ellen here continuing at 4 watts per kilogram. Has a gap, actually. C. May now closes that down pretty quickly. Probably getting a little frustrating for Ellie in there. She continues to try and go, but unable to really break anything apart as she continues to get covered over and over again with those attacks.
Yeah, but these repeated attacks helps loosen up the legs a little bit, and also, well, it helps putting some pressure on the other girls, and well, after some time, we might have some riders dropping and the pack wheeling down, and eventually, it's going to give some results to Ellen, and she might benefit from these attacks later on in the race.
Yeah, that might be true. Actually, we did see Tim with that tactic, and I have a feeling that if he would have been able to egg out some of like coax out some more of the stronger riders, but the stronger riders had so many either unattached or other teams out there in the European series earlier today to close it down for them, and there's so many riders in there that they were unable to really burn too many matches of some of the stronger riders within the race, but they still got the win with KRT, so maybe that was the plan we were saying earlier. But like you're saying here, though, I have a feeling some of the stronger riders, though, within the women's race here might be having to burn some matches to bring Ellen back into the fold. So not the worst tactic. As long as she saves the final match, it's going to matter if it does come down to a sprint. Now I am looking through here. Who is going to be some of the favorites out here? Kim Beezer's out there. Of course, Katrina Weiss, always strong, getting stronger every week too, it seems like. Caitlin Patterson is still out there as well. Now, Caitlin, I think this week maybe has learned a little bit of a lesson from her last attempt because it's a little calmer this time from her. It's like she tends to go and get away with 1 or 2, but this week we're not seeing that, and perhaps she's completely reserving rather than just trying to break things apart.
Yeah, she might be reserving a little bit because last time we saw a race, she attacked a lot, and it came down to a sprint head to head with Laura Fidel, and she got beaten by, I mean, half a wheel on the. Oh no, I don't remember if it was really close or if
no, it was about 500 meters. So
yeah,
she attacked, she got caught.
Laura surprised her,
and then she surprised her and got away. Exactly. So
yeah, but the thing is, on that course, the sprint is so hard that you are pretty sure that the strongest women will win today, and well, the strongest and the smartest, because you have to time your sprint, but you have to have the legs to hold what you want. And the fact that there's a couple of inclines in the last kilometer, well, first is a good thing for the lighter women, but it's also a good thing for the stronger ones, who definitely benefits from the apart from the one that are just hanging on and as much as they can, and that's where they can make a difference. And that's why that's the point every lap where we see them attack. And I wouldn't be surprised actually if there were some attack thrown in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if they start trying to make something happen with about 2.5 laps to go. Definitely about time to start seeing some action here. But now we're going to see some action. 1 lap to go in the men's race. All the points that are on the line, and we still have. And we're going into, I think there's at least 30, maybe 40 riders here in this front group here, actually. And looking through here, I'm going to see if I can catch and see 33 at least going out to about, I think there's almost 40 riders. 38 riders. Yeah, amazing, Quentin.
38 riders.
A lot of, so that means 18 of these riders, no points whatsoever for 18 of these riders. Yeah. You need to position well. Make sure you don't find yourself in the wrong position, but at the same time, it's that fine line of energy. Whether or not you're wasting energy or not at the wrong moments is going to be so crucial as to whether or not you can take the points, get in the right position, try and take the win, or if you're just looking to be consistent and get into that final through that invite, through the invites to the finalists, actually, by sneaking in maybe into a podium position of those top 5 within the East or within the West, and so for those, it's going to be all about not too high of a heart rate, but not finding yourself off the back at this point with just about a half a lap to go. I've got no predictions, really. I mean, Zimmerman, I'll be watching out for him in the sprint. Yeah. Draft is always super strong. Pierre Ficati, winner of the CVR World Cup, World Championship last year, actually, in Las Vegas. Always a strong competitor. Doesn't seem like he's quite got it, though, in the virtual side for the sprint, though. He seems to be one who could get away, and just like he did at Vegas, got away, held onto it, and stuck. But I haven't seen him win a sprint yet in the last couple of months here out on these races.
Well, Justin is actually quite good at the sprint, and if I recall right, he was third in the last stage that ended in the volcano in Paris, behind Ian Bibi and Scotty Weiss. So he's still good at the sprint as well. But I mean, there's so many picks that you can make from this pack, and if I had to make a couple of guesses, I mean, I won't go with Justin as well as as we already talked about him, but we haven't talked about the Mr. Paceline Designs, who is in the pack as well, and I had the opportunity to sprint a couple of times against him, and he is quite a very fast guy. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him well placed in the finish. But if I had to make
design, Quentin, with the call out for Paceline's design
from the underdog, total underdog. But I won't go full Canadian by quoting Veal.
I won't go full Canadian. We're not going full Canadian today, boys.
I'm not going full Canadian. But. Yeah, I think third is it will be Casey's week. He's been second
call out
twice.
For Shum.
It will be Casey's week.
Now Shum is at the back of the pack right now, though. Quentin, he's at the back right now. They're about to head into the climb right now. This is it. Final K or so.
That's where you have to be. To build momentum, that he is at the right place at the right time.
He's typing in Twitch chat right now. Not me. Not me. Man.
I call it.
Let's call it. Who's going to win? Let's hear predictions. We're into the final few K right here. It's actually the final K at this point, and we are about to see a sprint for the points out here. This is on the line for the live event. People are up and out of the saddles. Here they come. Lister up to the front. Turner's there as well. Skinner is there as well. McCabe now starting to kick in a 9.5 watts per kilogram. Here comes Aero Power Up super early, actually. Team Draft there as well, but it was Eric, actually. LaSalle with that early early arrow power-up, just trying to hang on maybe, but now it's going to be Gardner there as well from Sakari now up toward the front, but now fading. One more time from Zimmerman there, 14 watts per kilogram. Zimmerman walking away. Team Draft absolutely demolishing the sprint, but here comes Pierre Ficati with that arrow power-up. Hearing me in the chat, maybe thinking, no, Nathan, I can show you how we sprint. 11 watts per kilogram all day long. Will it be Pierre Ficati? Right to the line. Justin Pierre Ficati's proving me wrong, boys and girls. There it is, Pierre Ficati across the line, showing us how it's done. And sorry about that, we got the wrong thing coming through there. There we go. And so Pierre Ficati coming on through. Zimmerman with the attack, but unable to hold on to it. Pierre Ficati throws down 12 watts per kilogram for like a million seconds. Probably what it felt like for him to throw down that kind of power for that long. And Pierre Ficati nips Zimmerman at the line as they came across here. As you can see, Pierre Ficati's, I think, up into, if we switch to the heart rate there, just a moment there, we should be able to see what is he throwing down. 198 beats per minute, followed up by Zimmerman. I believe, unless he got nipped at the line by Segbrock, we'll have to see. Zimmerman might have faded, and I think Segbrock was able to get him. USA just over the top, I think, of Team Draft there for third place for Team Draft. And solid result, though, all around for those three. Pierre Ficati, letting Nathan know. Got a sprint, dude. It's not just my FTP. What's up, Nathan?
Yeah, well, I kind of told you we had a sprint, and you knew the volcano. And yeah, I hate to be that guy, but I told you.
You're that guy. You're that guy. That's all right. Be that guy. Be that guy all day long. Nathan was way wrong, way off. And it's going to be ODZ for the W out there today,
Yeah.
grabbing some points there. William is also from Quebec and a very strong rider. Lim Beaumont is letting us know why. Lemire in the league group is Yannick Lemire from Quebec, 2016 Canadian National Champion TT Masters. Awesome. Very cool to have all these amazingly strong riders out there today. Let's go ahead and get the results, actually, as we are seeing Justin Pierre Ficati, Michael Podzaline. I'm seeing actually for second. Is that right? Did he nip somebody at the line? Eric LaSalle?
I think the
results
I
need
think
to get an update.
The live results are, yeah, we're still well, maybe not an update, but maybe it's taken after the line, and some guys have gone past and back and forth.
Yeah. So the results do need an update still, everybody. They will be coming through momentarily, but we do not have the official results just yet. We definitely saw what happened over on the scene there as we're looking at the winner here, Mr. Pierre Ficati. Solid result there for him, going from the right moment. It seems like the moment is as soon as the climb stops, right there, throw your arrow power up and gain all that speed into the climb, and then take that right on through with an extra kick with that 12 or so, 15, whatever you can do in watts per kilogram with that last little kick to the top. So
exactly, yeah. The right time, if we can call it that, is the moment you can throw your arrow at midway through the flat section, but you have to keep your main kick for the moment that the gradient kicks in for the last time. And well, that's almost what Justin did today, and well, that served him well.
It definitely did, and he was able to hold off a fast charging group, waited till the right time, but at the same time took advantage of maybe some early attacks from some of the other riders out there. Now, coming into the final few K, this is the last time through the half a lap here, and we do see still a large group of women here in and amongst here looking for the W. Katrina Weiss still hanging on at the front here, 3.2 watts per kilogram. What kind of effort is she throwing down right now, though? I'm wondering, though. The current series leader, what can she throw down to hold on and defend right now? 179 beats per minute currently. Team Fearless is out there as well in force, it looks like, with at least one rider out there. Vixen's still out there with Beth York, hammering away up toward the front now, making sure she's in a good position as they make their way down the other side of the volcano now. So, any predictions? I'm always throwing the hat in the ring for the MTB. I know I've had some favoritism recently, but I'm throwing the hat in the ring for MTB again. Caitlin Patterson. I'm calling it out, and local to me. So I'm going to show a little bit of favoritism. I think that she wants. Now it's not just that though. It's really not just that. I think she's going to want revenge. I think she's playing a little bit smarter this week in order to try and take it down.
Well, if you're going favoritism, I'm going too, and I'm going to pick one of the Vision girls. I mean, they have been playing it very good with Ellen on the front all day long, and Claudia has been always well placed, and well, now they know each other, and I'm pretty sure they will be up there when the right time comes.
We'll have to see. They are into the final K now at this point. It's just around the corner. One time up into the volcano. A couple of little serpentines and 2 kicks to the finish line. Who's going to time it right this time? We saw Pierre Ficati just a moment ago timing it just right, but will they be able to throw down and get away, or will it be a bunch sprint? I'm predicting somebody's going to be able to get away at the right time. And like we said, Caitlin here making her way to the front now, but will it be Caitlin Patterson? No, Ellen now coming around. There's your prediction there. And both of them up toward the front, but now we do see Vixen there with Beth York now making her way to the front. 3.4 watts per kilogram. Baring is there as well, though. Watch out for her. 4.8 watts per kilogram. 6 watts per kilogram actually coming from Baring now. Absolutely demolishing this climb now, as we're seeing. But here goes Katrina, series leader, leading out the pack. But where is the sprint? There it is. 7.5 watts per kilogram first kick, but it's going to be all about continuance to the line. Ellen locked to that wheel, and I have a feeling these two are going to start walking away from the rest of the pack. Lara York now sees the threat, tries to go along, but it's not going to happen. Caitlin leading out Ellen, maybe to her detriment, though. Where are the drafting power-ups? What is going on here? Nobody's throwing anything down, and it's just going to be no arrow power-ups, no drafting powers, no. Ellen's got one left, but who is she going to be able to hold on? No, it's going to be Lucy. Lucy's to the line. She's going straight to the line, but no, it's going to be Mason. It's neck and neck at this point. It's going to be Mason at 8.3 watts per kilogram, and I think it was Mason. We had a little bit of drop out there for just a moment. Mason nipping it there at the line, it looked like. It bounced around a little bit at the wrong time for us. I was unable to get the exactness to it. Quentin, did you get it on your feed? Because I missed it.
I had nothing. Like the 3 first rider, Borbo, Taquino, and Mason was head to head, and right now Zwift Power is showing Mason, Taquino second, and Borbo third.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. I thought too.
Yeah. That's what Swift Power is showing, and then we have Joyner in 4th, Gaffney, McCracken, Patterson in 7th place, Beth York in 8th, Claudia Baring in 9th, and Katrina Wise for 10th place.
Whew, that was quite the sprint to the line right there. A couple of upsets almost maybe there with those late attacks. Yeah. Britt Mason came on like out of nowhere, freight trained it to the line. And we've seen this a lot in the volcano. An early attack gets away. You think it's over. They've got a few seconds, and that last little kick is just too much. There's enough there on that gradient, Quentin, to just shut down those 3 seconds that are there. Yeah,
well, it's all about the momentum you come with in that last kick, and we definitely saw that Ellen and Caitlin were coming with a few seconds of advantage, but they were not having as much momentum as the girls behind them, and they came in the draft with I think Beth was at the impulse there to bring the group back, and they had momentum coming in, and at the beginning of the climb, whether it's on Zwift or it's on the road, you need momentum to gain the most speed, and that's where it played out because, well, there was many ways you could play that sprint, but it came down really close, and we see that the first 5 riders are finished in the same second, and that's a sign of a very close sprint. The first 5 in the same
Super,
second.
yeah. Super close sprint. They gave everything they had to the line. If they all, I see that right now. Shannon Gaffney, Emily Joyner, Lucy Bourbeau, Ellen Torquino, and Britt Mason, all in the same second in that top 5. Right outside that, we got Christy McCracken, Caitlin Patterson, Beth Lar York, Claudia Barron, and Katrina Weiss, the current series leader, grabbing a solid 10 points there. But man, that was so close. They're all within 2 seconds too of each other right there.
Yeah,
but that
the
top
first
5,
the first 9 are within 2 seconds. That's crazy close. And then you see things whittling down a little bit, but the first 10 were so close. Well, even 11 with May coming in 11th place. But it's so close that it's all about the momentum and the right time to make the right effort. And well, Caitlin anticipated it a little bit, and it could have been very smart. And well, if it had gone to the finish line, we would have said it was the smartest move ever. But it was definitely well played, and it was the right way to go. And Ellen was definitely in the right place, right in a wheel. And well, it was really quite an exciting finish, actually, to follow, and quite the double kick sprint, and very impressive as well.
Yeah, back and forth. That's for sure between the women at the. I think there was at least 5 different lead changes. We saw Caitlin come to the front right along with Ellen, and they let a few come by, and then they kicked over the top of that first tier. But that second tier is what really nipped them then at the line, though. They had that lead. I thought the 2 of them were gone at that point. I was calling it that was going to be Ellen or Caitlin, but then that second kick over the tier there with the arrow power, bam, right on by. And those top 5 ended up finishing all together with that momentum that you were speaking about. So what an exciting race out there. Amazing job to all the racers. I'm going to wait and see if I got some official or preliminary, slightly official results coming through here over at Zwift Power.
Well. I think of the not the 4 races that we followed today, but the 3 of the 4 races, you kind of jinxed the early attackers. You announced Cartwright in the men's in Europe. You announced Zimmerman in the men right now, and you announced Caitlin for this one, and they all got caught in the last few hundred meters. So maybe a little bit of a jinx coming from you today.
No. There is no Nathan Jinx. There's no Nathan Jinx. There's no Nathan curse. We'll get it right next time, boys and girls. Oh, man. Oh,
yeah, the Nathan Jinx is real.
The Nathan Jinx is real. Everybody used to want to hear their name on the broadcast. Now no one wants to hear their name on the broadcast any longer.
There used to be the ride-on Jinx. It was a real thing, that was the deathly ride-on from Nathan. And when you get the ride-on, that's because you're getting dropped. And well, now you pray that he doesn't say your name in the last kilometer.
Yeah, that's really funny. Now that you pray they doesn't see your name in the last kilometer. Victoria Williams saying, I would really like it if racers without HRMs could be ignored, especially if they're in a podium position coming to the line. Imagine how the other racers feel. Victoria, I'm with you. There is some rules about heart rate monitors, and I'm not sure how it's being played in the rules for this current KISS series. Quentin, you got any information on that? Usually heart rate monitors are not allowed. If you have to have a heart rate monitor.
Yeah, it says in the rules that all racers must wear HRM. So no HRM, no rankings.
Yeah. So that's in the KISS rules. It is in the KISS rules, Victoria. I know that now. Removing people from the races, though, is not a tool. Not sure if Zwift will ever give that to the community organizers. It would be nice to have event tools to do things with, and then the best race organizers could rise to the top of those who demand the highest, that have the highest demand then, right? So good organizers end up with a good product that people want to race then. So hopefully that'll come down the line, Victoria. I'm 100% with you on that. It is frustrating. I've been in situations over and over again in some well, not over and over again, but I've been in some situations where I'm hanging on the keyboard a little bit. I get out of the way using the 1, 2, 3 or the F1 through 5 to yell at them, even though there are no derogatory things in Zwift at people. But Jeffrey Edwards says, great stream. Catch you next time. Thanks a lot, Jeffrey Edwards. Thanks for tuning in. So thanks for believing, Nathan. Adam Zim, thanks for tuning in. You rock, buddy. You rock, bud. Good to see Team Draft in the house. So that's going to be it from us. I'm going to check the results here real quick. We'll go over those and then we are out of here. But in the men's race, Justin Pierre-Vicati takes that W there. Proves Nathan wrong that he can get that. That's like a double whammy. If I call that they're not going to win the sprint, they get it.
Yeah.
So Spencer Sagerbrooks for second, Adam Zim for third, Michael Podsline for fourth. Looks like Aaron Lascelles there for fifth. Ride for Canada 4i. Warren Muir for sixth. Looks like Andy Webb in seventh. Michael Bose in eighth there. Sean Lister for ninth. Big E for 10th. Yannick Lemire there was being told he is a TT champion, actually, 2016 for Canada, actually, for Masters. So good to see him out there. Hammered away for 11th place. Sean Barry there in 12th. Casey Shum, current series leader, takes 13th. Will he be dethroned? I'm not positive.
Yeah, but he was typing in the sprint, so he couldn't give his full effort.
Maybe focus on the sprint and stop typing. No. So Matt Gardner for 14th, Mike Schwartz for 15th, Mike Cabagone for 16th, Chad Skinner, Ed Veal, Jim McQuaid, and then Mark Dallas rounding out the top 20. Solid result for the men's race out there all around. Looking through, I do not have the results just yet for the women. We're waiting for them to update. And I do not have an instant replay to give you those as my instant replay feed for the women's was not coming through correctly because of some sort of weird resolution bug that was telling me it was in like 2K. So I'm going to need to wait for the results. But Brian Wing Bermule, yeah, you can find the results over at zwiftpower.com right now. We're trying to get integration directly into the broadcast for them, but we don't have it at this moment. But as soon as we can, we will. I cannot show them live on the screen either. At least I'm not sure if I can yet. I don't believe that I can, as you have to have a Zwift account or something with, or not a Zwift Power account that's been signed or something or other legalese stuff. So I can't show it on screen from the website directly. So you have to go to zwiftpower.com for the results. You can click on them and find them over there. So I am updating. Do you have them yet? I don't have them yet. I just have the live results and they look incorrect at the moment.
They will be up in exactly 2 minutes, actually. Because if you look at it, they are generated every 30 minutes, and it will be 1 hour that after they started in 2 minutes. So if we wait a couple of minutes, we'll have them right there.
Ah, gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. I see. So at the 2 minute mark from when they left, I see. I got it. So we can wait 2 minutes. By the way, Lascelles unclipped at 100 meters from the line. I called the Lascelles. I was out there for Lascelles.
Well, that's all because of you.
He unclipped from 200.
I think he was so shocked that you called his name that he unclipped from the shock.
Oh man. CS Tricks is saying if my math is right, you'll have a 1 point lead still over Pierre Ficati. So all right, you better show up next week, Tricks. They're coming for you, man. Hungry pack of wolves out there looking for that top spot and that leader's jersey. All right, next up, we also have the West. So there's still racing to come. I'm not commentating it. This is all about the community. You guys get out there, stream it, commentate it, show us what you got. However you want to show it off in a live streaming platform. If you want a live stream of the West series, go ahead and throw it out there. Let me know. Tweet it at me, at ZCommunityLive, at Nathan Guerra over on Twitter. I'll make sure to share it up, check it out. Tricks, CS Tricks says he's going to go call the West. Good to hear. awesome. Check out CS Tricks. We'll give him a host as well, probably. Yeah, awesomeness. Get out there, start the streaming community. We're going to definitely focus more and more on the community, doing some awesome streaming and growing their channels as well. So looking for the results here still for the women. It doesn't look like we have anything up just yet. Maybe.
Yeah,
we're
just
still
need
trying
a
to
couple
figure
of
out.
seconds.
Okay, 5 seconds. He calls 5, 4, 3, 2. Hitting the refresh button here. I definitely want to see if we got it correctly, if we called it correctly. Because I don't want to leave this and it was off as to who we called as the official winner.
Yeah, we definitely have to see who won, but yeah, I mean it should come shortly now. But yeah, the live results are just a little bit off. But yeah, I mean you can't get any closer than when we saw at that sprint. I mean, 3 on the same line. It doesn't get any better than that.
Now, Katrina, 65 points. Where was Laura in all that? 55 points. Anna Rogers, 50 points. Chris is not here this week, so she's going to get bunny hopped over a little bit. Caitlin out there with a 7th. She's going to grab some points, though, but there's a lot within the top 10 here that I'm not seeing within those top 5 there. You know, there's going to be some shuffling. That's for sure. In the top 10 here for the women's series.
Yeah, we saw that Amy Leveng was one of the missing rider in the front group as well, so she might drop a couple of places. Hélène, on the other hand, might jump a couple of spots after that new 2nd place. And yeah, it's there's definitely going to be some moving around, and now the results are up.
Yep, there they are. Thank you so much.
They are.
So Britt Mason does take it. It was 100th of a second. Literally 100, like Ellen and Britt. Just, I mean, that was like not even a tire length right there between Ellen and Britt. What a result there for both of them. Britt with 3.5 watts per kilogram, Ellen with 3.9. Looks like Lucy there with a solid result of 3.9. Also, only 10/100ths of a second back or so. Emily Joyner there as well within the same second, half a second back. Shannon Gaffney there, 0.8 of a second back there. Top 5 right there, all within a wheel length. So amazingly timed results there. Now we are seeing some DQs there for Emily and Shannon though. So one of them, was it a no heart rate issue?
Thank you. I'm not seeing that right now, but you might be right. Well, the thing is, I have them still in black in the result because it might be the first rate, or they're just not registered in Zwift Power.
But
no, I don't have them on DQ, and I think in the live they had heart rate. Well, no, they didn't show the heart rate in the live. But,
so I think it does an automatic DQ on the far right if they're unregistered at ZwiftPower.com. That's all it is. So it doesn't mean it's an automatic DQ. Yeah. It's just that they're blacked out. They don't have a link, which means they're not registered for the results. I have a feeling that that's what it's about.
Yeah, it might be that, but well, we'll have to wait and see maybe tomorrow how, after everything is processed, how the organizers manage
because they're sleeping in Europe.
Yeah, well, in Europe, pretty much everyone is sleeping. I mean,
except for Quentin LeFay. Everyone's sleeping in Europe except for Quentin. So Emily Joyner, Shannon Gaffney, Christy McCracken. Then it was Caitlin Patterson, followed up by Beth York, Claudia Barry, and then Katrina Weiss for 10th. C. May, Kim Beezer, Rachel Blair, looks like J-Dub Williams there for the KRT team for 14th. Laura Fideo, Angela Webster, Carrie N for CIS Cycling as well, 17th place there. Julia Linsky And then Marie Helen Gaunt there for 19th. Now, that is a little surprising. She's usually up there in the results there. Anna Rogers there as well, Team Fearless. She's currently in a top spot as well for the women's overalls, actually. So, Anna with a 20th and 1 point, going to be falling a little bit in the results, actually. She's currently in 3rd place, actually. So, got a little caught out there, it looks like. So, a lot of shifting around. We'll have to wait for the official standings when they do come up. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I think that's going to be it from us. What do you think, Quentin? Things going to be shifting around a whole lot, I think, but still some good racing. And those final sprints, a little bit of upsets there.
Yeah, definitely one of the most exciting series that we could ask for, and it's been well, there's been a lot of upsets, and I think for the 7 races that remain, we can see as many upsets as we've already seen, and it's definitely going to be interesting to follow and definitely exciting to watch.
Definitely, for sure. And Quentin, I want to say thanks. Great job out there.
Oh,
Great job on the commentary.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for staying up all night for us here at ZCL. So we'll be back then. Quentin will be back with us next week for the CVR World Cup League. We'll be back tomorrow with some Zwift community chat as well. We'll be talking about Zwift Quest, and I believe we'll have Zwift Insider on with us as well tomorrow. So make sure to stick around or be around for that 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Great job to all the racers out there. This was the KISS eCrit Series North America East presented by Cyclops. We'll see you guys for next week's races and tomorrow's Swift Community Chat. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that follow button over on Twitch, as well as like our Facebook page. You can also check all the VODs out over on YouTube. I'm Nathan Garrett coming at you from Swift Community Live Headquarters. As always, right on.